Take it away, Vanjana. The camera is yours.
Thank you so much. I'm Vanjana Hart here live from
Molly record.
Yep. I'm the creator and host of We Speak Dance on Netflix worldwide, and I'm also a UN ambassador for women's rights and safety. I am really excited to share that we are launching a campaign to mobilize dancers around the world for women's rights and safety. With the pandemic, there's lots of blind spots that we have for the most vulnerable groups, and it's so important that we think about all these blind spots. So one of the key things that women and girls is women's shelters worldwide are sometimes now being taken over by medical facilities. So women who are victims of violence, domestic violence, or all forms of violence, don't have safe spaces to go. So I think it's so important for us as global leaders, investors, activists, social change. This social change space is to really come together to not only think about the most obvious ways that what's happening in the world right now is affecting our health, our food security sectors, but also to really think about all of the marginalized groups and at-risk groups that are more deeply affected right now. So for me, with my work at UN Women for 7 years, working on safe cities for women and girls, our whole agenda was how do we reimagine cities from a gender perspective, from a women's rights-based perspective, that a woman and women and girls have rights to the city the same way that men do. And this is not so obvious. Most cities historically have been designed from a gender neutral perspective, which really means a male perspective, in terms of the infrastructure, the transport, our health services, our education, our public spaces, and parks. So, and a woman says that there's a rape park in every city. There's all this statistics about gender-based violence in public space, sexual harassment with the Me Too movement, but this has been happening for a very long time. So at this moment, it's a time for us to really not forget some of the programming initiatives and campaign initiatives that are so crucial to ensure that women's rights and safety are included in this conversation. So as We Speak Dance, as a series on Netflix, we feature dancers around the world and how they're shaping their cities and activating their voices to speak for the people who are not heard. And this could be refugees in Lebanon. This could be a grassroots woman in a marketplace in Papua New Guinea. We feature ancient forms of dance to the newest forms of dance to be able to have conversations and a dialogue around this with culture leading. Because we need many languages right now to bridge across different cultures. This is the big unifier. However, many women and girls are at risk and missing out, and they don't have safe spaces to go. Some of them are trapped in home with abusive partners. And all of us are struggling in our own ways and trying to make ends meet financially, trying to stay politically active, community active. But I think right now, zooming out and thinking from a global perspective, how can we take this moment to really redesign our cities and thinking about our cities from an approach where women and girls are really empowered. So the We Speak Dance movement that also has a Netflix series is activating dance ambassadors around the world to dance for women's rights and other causes that are very crucial during this time. And we are looking to partner and build coalitions. It is so crucial for us to work together to take this moment as a time to pause and see what we've learned and also test out greater models. And for me, the innovation comes when we bring in the art, the culture, the music, the dance, and we intersect each of these industries to have more humanity. This is so important in this time where everyone has more rest, more space to think, is to look at what initiatives around the world that we can amplify. And I believe that dance is one of the most underutilized languages. It's the most universal language, most visceral language, even beyond music, to connect us. So we're also building an app where you can learn any dance move from around the world. And in this way, the more you dance, the more social impact you make. And this can be also a COVID response tool. So we're building a live campaign, an app, and also continuing to do the storytelling platform of the series We Speak Dance. We'd love to connect with this community to talk further about incredible responses we can have during this time to empower ourselves, our communities, and also program for a future where women and girls and their safety are at the center and heart of of how we design our technologies, our policies, and our programs. Would love to open it up. I wanted to be quick because we have running a little behind. If there are any questions for me, would love to hear them.
Hi.
I can't. Oh, hi, I can't hear.
Oh,
now I can hear somebody now. Perfect.
Yeah, sorry about that. Exciting morning, Vandana. Thank you for sharing all of that. That was great. We just want to ask a question. It's actually about, somebody had a question about your beautiful performance last night during May the 4th Be With You. That was such an epic dance. And they were just wondering how in the world did you learn how to do that? I mean, you're so incredibly talented.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, thank you. Yeah, from yesterday, the dance performance. I've trained at the Alvin Ailey School in New York. I've danced my whole life, learning dance cultures and dance styles in over 100 countries. So I would combine my work with the United Nations and designing programs for change for women and girls' safety with dance, and bringing my training from all over the world, from the dance parties of New York to the prima ballerinas of the Bolshoi, bringing all of that energy and culture to reshaping the way we design our cities and how we lead our future. So dance is, for me, is really the medicine, the secret sauce, the golden bullet to get us to where we want to go and connect with other people across the world and uplift our society at this challenging time.
Yes, and I think it's really incredible what you're doing. And the questions I have a couple questions that I would like to ask, if it's all right. What inspires you to travel the world? I mean, a lot of people might take on a big cause like you're doing, but just hunker down where they're located.
Interesting. Even here, I'm in Tulum, Mexico at Papaya Playa. I'm helping them with supporting them with their local initiative here for food security. I think traveling the world right now is interesting because most of us who travel a lot are not able to. And for me, I've traveled because I've never really felt like I was part of one nation. I was born in Russia to American father, Russian mother, and we moved to India and Sweden, and I've lived in Kenya and the UK. So for me, it's always been about connecting with other cultures and other parts of the world. And I never really felt a sense of home. But what makes me have a sense of home is connecting with people's music and dance tradition. So that for me is my nation state, is the rhythm of other people and getting on the same heartbeat together.
That's so beautiful. And I do believe we are all one. It's such an important message that you're bringing to the world, and thank you for the initiative. How is it going? We had a speaker earlier today. She's only 15, and she has a fund for women-led ventures. And that is one of our themes that we're addressing today. How is it going as a woman head of your enterprise? How is it going for you? Is there any words of wisdom you have for other women business leaders?
Oh, this is great. This is a great question. I'm so glad we have more time. Thanks.
Yes, yeah, we do. We got caught up really quickly. Craig Goldberg, our next speaker, starts at 10:30, and he's already here, ready to go. So we've got more time.
We have a little bit of time. Oh, good.
Yeah, we do. We got caught up.
Quick change from teaching a dance class for my Instagram Live. I teach a week, and just to bring joy to all my friends all over the world. But for the entrepreneurship question, it's funny because I never thought of myself as an entrepreneur. I worked for the United Nations for 7 years, designing programs for social change, but we operated like a startup. We kind of had this autonomous space, and I never realized like how bureaucratic the UN was, because we just had free range to do what we wanted. So I've kind of had this entrepreneurial spirit, designing programs for social change for 30 countries across all these cultures, because you have to innovate. In each context, it's just kind of like, how do you scale a business? So I had to like scale these social impact programs. And then when I moved to Kenya, I started consulting for a lot of social enterprise businesses and startups, and I realized that entrepreneurs are so inspiring and hungry to make change, and they won't wait. And I realized that I was one of those people. And I think we all kind of gravitate towards each other because we have the sense of urgency to get our ideas out, to get our dreams out, and to solve big problems. So I think once you hit that point where you see that maybe your work is taking you this far, but your vision is this big, that then maybe it's time to really think about entrepreneurship. And also identity in entrepreneurship is a huge shift. I always saw myself as a dancer and a politician, or an activist, UN advisor, as two separate identities: dancer, UN advisor. And then when I put those two things together, that's where the real magic happens. That's where the innovation happens. And a lot of us are suppressing our passion and our dream to fit into the box of what we're supposed to be doing or what the demands are for our work. And when we start integrating our passion, our beliefs, our morals, our values into every aspect of our life, then all of a sudden we're thinking bigger, and we're forced to all become entrepreneurs. That's really the way forward, is that we're all meant to be entrepreneurs or join entrepreneurial teams and ideas that resonate with us. We don't all have to be CEO. And I think for the women's side, it's just like really taking up space. I teach that when I dance. I teach women all over the world who've been victims of violence to like take up space with their bodies, and that translates into the world. If we know how to move our bodies and take up space in our streets and our public spaces, we sure as heck know how to do that in business. And sometimes it's just demanding that you take up that space, and sometimes the door is closed and you keep banging on the door. And I've annoyed a lot of people, and people have told me I'm aggressive and persistent, and I was like, yeah, but my mission is so big that it needs this kind of momentum and energy behind it, and fierceness behind it. And we need all of our young people to have that sense of urgency and fierceness in what they're doing, because their work matters. Yeah. It's not just business as usual. It's not just profit for profit's sake. No, what are the biggest problems that we can solve? Who has the biggest hearts to solve those problems? And then surrounding yourself with a team that has the skills that you're lacking. That humble piece of, I'm really strong in these areas, but these are the areas that I can grow. And we need our presidents to do that. We need our business leaders to do that, to really be successful and ensure that we're designing systems that uplift us and strengthen our environment, our humanity, our rights, our future. I think this entrepreneurial spirit matched with being humble, matched with taking up space, especially if you're, from a marginalized group, and to have your vision be your battle cry, that we can't wait. We need all of our talents, all of our passion, our full identity, not pieces of who we are. We all need to integrate our full identities to be supercharged, to show up as superheroes on this planet right now.
Vandana, I'm so honored to know you. And I look forward to connecting you with people, because collaboration is what this is all about. We hope to see you, I think, next at our executive roundtable, and good luck. And I hope to visit you soon there. It looks amazing.
Thank you so much. And if people want to dance with me, they can join me on my social media at Vandana Hart or at We Speak Dance. I'm sharing dance from around the world there, and stories, and on Netflix. The series, and then we're having this app come soon, and I'm so excited to collaborate with different people from this forum and beyond. Molly, thank you